Now let's kick things off. The metals reflecting some of that spice right now, listeners. Metals aggregate CVOL 1944, up 0.6 of a point just today. That is the high for the week. The low 1716. So metals, again, in aggregate, metals not a bastion of volatility, gaining over 2 points, nearly 2.5 points, about 2 1/3 points on the week. That is nothing to sneeze at out there in the land of metals vol. So metals looking spicy. Interestingly enough, metals gaining vol every day this week with the exception of Monday. So things getting spicy, and metals vol not coming off after the Fed. If anything, getting spicier out there, which is interesting. To the aggregate commodities CVOL we go, 32.05 right now, up about 0.14, so not a banger day out there. That is the high level for the week, the low 31.13. So pinning the needle to the upside this week, but obviously a much less crazy range out there, only about a little under a point out there for the commodities aggregate CVOL. Below we have the energy CVOL, 46.66, off 0.12 today. The low actually came yesterday, 46.29. The high, 47.05. So hanging out right in the middle of its weekly range out there. Then we keep on rolling to the ag products, listeners. 1918, a terrible year, and also not a great day here, off 0.2 out there today. That is the low for the week, the high 1963, so coming in at the bottom of its weekly range. So we got a tale of two tapes here, the metals and the commodities pinning the needle to the upside, energy kind of splitting the uprights, and then we've got ag products and some of our others coming back to the downside, including the next one, which is the treasuries, treasury price vol. Go figure. They are hitting treasury vol post-Fed. That's how it's supposed to work. 479 off 0.27 today. Only one day did they gain this week, and go figure, it was Wednesday. That is the low for the week, the high 5.11. So not a huge range, but again, it is treasuries. You're not starting from a high baseline. And we were saying for a while, we were saying last week on Volatility Views, we were saying last week on this show that it was strange that folks were just so willing to crush vol across the board, in particular in treasuries heading into the Fed. If you looked at the Fed watch, it seemed like a certainty that we were getting a cut, but you never know at the end of the day. We've all learned and seen many surprises just over the last few years on things that seem to be certain on the surface. Crushing vol pre-Fed, strange, post-Fed does make some sense, so that's what we're seeing out there right now. And then below it, we have the FX CVOL, a tick under an 8, 7.96. Off nearly half a point today. That's a big move in FX vol in a day. Wow, 7.11 is actually the low, the high 8.41. So coming in nearly a half a point below the upper band for the week, but an over a point, 1.3 point range on FX vol. And then at the bottom of our list is the Treasury yield vol, 90.87, off almost 4.5 points today. The range for the week, 86.12 to the downside, 95.35 to the upside. So hanging out towards the upper middle portion of that range. So a wild week in CVOL. Some gainers, some losers, some coming right down the middle. All sorts of fun going on in CVOL.